I believe that a lot of people who think Eternals is bad, I believe a lot of them have an agenda. They hate Eternals because they don't understand it. Mm-hmm. They dislike it because they never saw it. Mm-hmm. Or, there's obviously, because it's an MCU movie. And them DC and other motherfuckers don't like anything MCU, won't give it any credit.
And they like the stupid ass jokes.
Eternals is the best MCU movie. Fight me. Call in. Iron Man is far from perfect. I need the big shit. I need the big dog stuff, bro. 805-351-2001. That's where you can find me. You can find me at 805-351-2001. Nog Shadow, put the mother freaking legend. A real freak Galactus. This guy's the problem.
Oh, Asherim?
Yeah. Freak Galactus. Right. This guy is the problem. There's people been calling in.
Trico, let's talk.
Accept. To send a voicemail, press 2.
All right, Trico, let's do it.
What's happening, Trico?
It's Eternals, bro. Eternals is the best MCU movie.
Come with your own mind, like you say with me, whatever you feel, bro.
All right, so let's talk. I didn't understand the hate for Eternals. Now, it's not my best MCU movie, but
it's the best. Said, it's the best though. It's the best MCU movie, and you can't convince me otherwise. What's the best MCU movie for you?
Black Panther. And you know why?
I mean, I know why, because it's a great film. But Eternals hits on another level. So why is it Black Panther for you?
When I first started watching the Marvels, the comics and movies and stuff, back then it was Blade for me. But Blade was a very dark character. He was not that type of character, that would like get kids excited, behind the side. It was going to be Black Panther.
So Black Panther is good because it's black.
Yeah.
You're biased.
He said black.
I wouldn't say too biased.
That's biased. You love it because it's black.
Spider-Man and X-Men. But
you just admitted to it though.
Do you like Black Panther because it's a better story?
Yeah.
Do you like it because it's a better story than Blade?
Listen to what I'm saying. Before we had Black Panther, all we had was Blade. None of the kids did not like Blade because he was too scary and dark. Nobody did like Blade back then.
I think Black Panther is more than what you're trying to make it out to. You, at the end of the day, it's black is why you got it. And I think Black Panther is outside the box a good film, more than it just being a black movie. And I think you have done Black Panther a disservice only being black man, yeah, that's me. Because Black Panther is black. It's way more better than its blackness. I'm ashamed of you, Trico.
But that's just another argument.
Nah, you just said it's because he's black.
Hold on. Yeah, see, you're going right straight for it. You didn't
Yes,
finish.
that's what I'm here for. I got a lot of callers, Trico.
I know, but listen, the reason I said Black Panther, it has more social media involvement than any other Marvel movie has ever did. It did not did it for the Avengers. It did not do for Iron Man. Nothing for Captain America. Or another other Marvel movie ever since then. Can you name another other Marvel movie that has so much social media impact than Black Panther?
Social media impact means little to me when it comes to quality of the film. Forrest Gump had no social media impact. Any movie before the year 2000 had none. So, and there's greatness but behind 2000. So that's a weak point in my opinion, Trico. I think that you have failed to convince me that Black Panther is a better movie than Eternals. I thank you for trying, brother.
Hey, Trico.
I thank you for trying. Nope, we're done. We're done. He has failed to show me.
Call from.
I was gonna hit him with you failed this channel.
Next try, caller, you're live. Eternals is the best MCU movie. Convince me otherwise.
Caller?
Do that. Next caller.
Call from
Dallas.
What up, Darius? Eternals is the best MCU movie. Convince me otherwise.
It's Dallas. And I'm going to say Black... Well...
You said what?
I'm going to say Black Panther.
Black Panther, why? Why is Black Panther better than Eternals, even though it's not?
Because villain.
Your phone is
fix your phone, call back. Fix your phone and call back.
Call from
Andrew.
Said skipped him. Skip him.
Andrew, what's up, bro? You on? Eternals is the best MCU movie, and you're wrong with yours.
Well, I was going to say a movie that has slipped on the radar for most of you fans, and that's The Incredible Hulk.
Man, you could miss me with that weekend. This movie, that 2008 Edward Norton movie is the best MCU movie. That's the second MCU movie that came out, and even that ain't better than Iron Man. What a crazy take. Good luck with that one.
Well, because you always say how the Hulk was done trashly, but if you look at this one, he was actually shown as a beast, like Hulk smash.
Yeah, but it wasn't
Hulk smash.
Hey, don't get me wrong.
I'm smashing you out this call. Thanks, man. Motherfucker said the Incredible Hulk. You go talk about best MCU movie and bring up Edward Norton who ain't the Hulk no
but he's
more.
the best Hulk, though. I'll say that.
No, he not.
Who's
It's
the best?
Harrison Ford. Red Hulk, baby.
Ed Norton Hulk is the best.
Harrison
Ford is
Ford
the
Hulk
second.
clapping him. Thunderbolt Raw slapping him.
Not Ed
Bro,
Norton.
man, miss
Not
me
Ed
with this
Norton.
shit.
Crazy as shit.
All right, for sure. Next caller. Let's go.
Call from
Dallas.
No. Get your internet right.
PC.
All right. What's up, Casey? We got you on, bro. Eternals is the best MCU movie. These arguments you guys are coming with are trash, by the way. You see what it is? I open the phone lines, I get you guys to call in, and y'all coming with this garbage argument.
Said the Incredible Hulk. That was funny.
Are you there, caller?
Look at Jody's PC.
TC, what's up, bro? What's
I'm gonna
best
I'm
MCU
looking
movie
at
is
them, I
Eternals.
feel
So
like-
what is yours?
To me, it's a tie between Guardians 1 and Winter Soldier.
Ooh.
Kind of like two different
Shit
reasons.
is crazy. This nigga said Guardians 1 and Winter Soldier. You're stuck between a mid movie and a GOAT. Let me help you out. It's Winter Soldier. And
Yeah,
the fact
bro.
that you bring up Guardians, how could you possibly bring up for best MCU movie Guardians 1? That's not even the best Guardians movie.
You ain't even let me finish, bro.
I don't need to finish when you say Guardians 1.
Yeah, you kind of killed your argument. You said that one.
I was gonna say Guardians 1 for like entertainment, like it's just a fun movie, but quality of film, it's always gonna be Winter Soldier.
No.
Like,
The
I
fact
can
that you even
rewatch
bring up Guardians
Guardians
is
without
crazy.
That was your
Entertaining?
first
What does
pick.
that mean? Where I said best movie. Entertainment means very small percentage to best movie. We're talking about the best movie, and you said it's hard for you to decide between Guardians 1 and Winter Soldier. That's crazy talk. One is in a box at the bottom, and one is living on Mount Olympus.
You was better off saying Winter Soldier.
Guardians is not at the bottom, bro. I know you don't like it, but you can't say it's at the bottom. Bro.
Why can't I say it's at the bottom? Compared to Winter Soldier, it definitely is.
Oh, I wouldn't even. Well, that's what I'm saying. For two different reasons. Like Winter Soldier's like a serious like espionage movie, while Guardians of the Galaxy is just like
A joke.
comedy. fun
Winter
movie.
Soldier's
That's why-
well written. Winter Soldier's well edited, well paced, it has better action, real acting. What are we talking about? Guardians doesn't have good acting in it. It doesn't have a good score. It's not well written. It's not. Its pacing is whatever. Its action is mid. They had a
story.
dance off in that movie.
The story, everything, yeah, is way better.
But besides the action, I disagree with everything you said. The score.
You think the
everything-
act? Okay, let's go down the list. You disagree with everything I said. Let's start with acting. You think that the acting in Guardians is better than Winter Soldier?
Yeah. Who's really going?
All right, get him up out of here, bro. Get him up out of here, bro.
Hey,
you out here, bro.
Hey, nice try, TC. I like you, but
You out,
hey,
bro.
hey, we ain't
Do
doing
some
that, bro.
crazy
Yeah.
shit.
Nah.
What the
Next.
fuck?
That's solo. I don't want them.
To accept.
Eternals is the best MCU movie, man. It can't be this easy.
What's up, Captain Solo? Oh, yes, he go.
Oh, what happened? We thought he was here.
Call from
Dallas.
Yes, Dallas.
What's up, Jody? Hey, I think Black Panther is the better movie. It's the best MCU movie
Why?
because of the villain.
That's it?
Because Eternals didn't have no villain like that. And
Eternals doesn't have a villain like that. You see,
no.
that's why did you see Eternals?
Well, Icarus, I don't consider him as a villain though.
You don't consider Icarus a villain.
No. He's like
Is he an antagonist?
he's a hero. He's like an anti-hero. Like he's an antagonist, but he's not a villain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah, I'll get you next time. Joker, you know, Killmonger, Thanos. But he was the villain of that movie, right? You could argue he's the villain. You could argue that he was the hero. But it's clear. It's clear that it does have a villain in the movie, a villain character who is clearly the bad guy of the movie, and that is without a doubt Icarus, and to a greater degree, a lesser degree, or a greater degree, depending on how you view it, Asherim.
Yeah. It was the other dude, the Deviant.
The Deviant, yeah. The Deviant was the one that was smart, the one that was taking them and getting smarter and getting bigger and shit like that.
The Deviant, in my opinion, because if you know, the Deviants were created in Hode.
Yeah.
You could make the argument that they're the freaking the ones that have been wrong.
Astrum fucked the hell out of them. Yeah.
They're the ones that have been wrong. So I don't.
But there was a villain because they were killing the Eternals. They were
Deviants were part of the people, of the creatures who were creating life, and the Eternals was attacking and murdering and killing them, stopping them from doing what they do. It's all a metaphorical thing. Where do you stand on creating and destroying life for creating life to destroy life? An endless cycle of destruction. The Deviants were not necessarily a part of that. Well, they were stopping that. They were trying to kill the Eternals to stop, which would effectively stop them from blowing up the planet. So we know that.
You think Eternals? I think Eternals is better than Wonder Woman. Both Wonder Womans.
This is a best MCU movie discussion.
Since you love it so much, just saying.
This is the best MC movie discussion, and you're bringing up DC with the second question. Thank you so very much for calling in. You tried, you lose. Next.
Call from
Captain Solo.
All right, we're going to try to bring Captain Solo back. Captain Solo, it's Eternals is the best MCU movie.
That is incorrect. Well, listen, Eternals is a good movie. It's a good movie. It's different. It's unlike anything we had ever seen at the time, but in my opinion, I'm going Infinity War because they say
there's no story.
Infinity War. Hey, Captain Solo, I'm gonna let you go, but I just need to react to you saying Infinity War. Give me 12 seconds. This motherfucker calling in against my Eternals with Infinity War, my nigga. One of the movies that took 10 years to build up to, that was gonna piss us off with one of the worst iconic villains that was a big disappointment. Okay, Captain Solo, go ahead.
All right, I'm only saying this because they say your hero is as good as your villain, and I think the culmination of the heroes were only as good as the villain of Infinity War, and that version of Thanos, I don't know. That's just, I just think that can't be touched. That's up there with the Jokers and the Darth Vaders, and that version of him, in my opinion. But Arishem.
All right, let me stop you there. Stop you there. We'll go to Arishem. But what you just said is blasphemy. I'm about to get you. You said that version of Thanos in Infinity War is just awesome, can't be touched. I raise you Endgame Thanos.
Okay, I am going to raise you Infinity War Thanos because where his mindset was. Yes, Endgame Thanos was a tank. He was a beast.
He was a killer.
He was different. He was a killer.
He was a killer.
Yes. I mean,
he was a titan.
He
was murderous. Yeah, he was everything Thanos is supposed to be. Yeah. So how are you raising me? How is it the Thanos in Infinity War more Thanos than the Endgame Thanos?
Because Infinity War Thanos, he could have murked every single person that crossed his path, but he didn't.
That's what makes him not Thanos.
That's what?
That's what makes him not Thanos. Thanos is murking people who get in his way. You're gonna get killed. You should be killed.
I know, but they.
Then you can't say you know. Then no, that's an L. Thanos was he gave passes. He was soft in Infinity War. He was creating rubber and bubbles, bro. Thanos had the Infinity Gauntlet in Infinity War, and Endgame Thanos was still stronger than that Thanos with a sword. He was a murderous killer. First time you see Endgame Thanos, he's taking blood off of his freaking this sword.
Yes, I know that.
You're gonna take a little L there. There's in no way is Infinity War Thanos superior to Endgame Thanos.
That's facts.
Not superior, but his he way more powerful.
No, he
Way more
wasn't.
powerful. And
Tell me,
with
how
the-
was he
with
more
the
powerful?
gauntlet, with the gauntlet. With
How?
the gauntlet.
Even with the gauntlet.
With the gauntlet. I mean, even without the gauntlet, he served up the Hulk. I mean, he served him. He gave him a 5-piece combo. No.
Yes, he
biscuit.
did.
I mean,
You're absolutely right. Would Endgame Thanos have murdered Hulk? Do you think that Endgame Thanos would have let Hulk get away alive?
no, he would have taken that big ass sword and probably, he would've
All right,
clapped
thank
his
you.
cheeks,
So
no doubt.
Endgame Thanos is more Thanos than Infinity War Thanos because Hulk survived that freaking battle. Endgame Thanos would have killed him.
And Infinity War Thanos, though, I think has an upper edge over Icarus. I don't even see Icarus as the villain. It's the deviant.
I'm sorry.
His name is.
All right,
We're done. We gotta go to the next. Infinity War Thanos. When there's a better Thanos in the own MCU, that nuked your whole freaking argument, bro. I appreciate you, bro. I really, really, really do. Thank you for calling in. Oh yeah, caller. Hello. You were on hold. Thank you for holding. Hey man, how you doing?
Hello?
Yeah, I think that Eternals is the best movie of the MCU.
Okay, I think it's a great one. Like, I might have it in the top 5, but I do think that Civil War, I've decided to say, is the best one. Just like thinking back on it, I haven't watched them in a couple months probably, but I think the Civil War is the one I always go back to, and I always feel like it had the biggest impact.
I'm with
and
you.
it was just like, it was kind of making me think of that immigration topic about how like people get divided by laws.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, you got Iron Man like wants to do the what's it called, the Sokovia?
Yeah.
Sokovia Accords.
Yeah, the Accords. Yeah, and I just thought it was just the best. Like seeing that, like Spider-Man show up, Black Panther, just seeing that whole lineup. Like when friends turn on each other, it's kind of like it's so deep. Like I know Eternals kind of had that too with Icarus. Doing the bad stuff he did, but I don't know. I thought I could argue that Civil War is the best out of the MCU, personally.
I feel like Civil War is great, but Civil War does rely on other MCU characters to make that movie epic and iconic. It's the first time that you've seen Black Panther. It's the first time that you've seen Spider-Man in the MCU. That's a lot of juice. That's a lot of steroids, bro. So that does take away from Civil War's claim to the greatest. It had help.
So you're saying like Eternals is good like because it didn't need anyone else? Like that's why people were saying Iron Man and all these other movies that didn't really rely on other, like you said, like cameos or whatever like that.
That's one
you're
of
saying
their.
Eternals is good because it didn't need help.
That's one of very many other reasons. Yes.
Well, it's hard to argue that one, but I just think we're just judging it like a movie. Which one is the best out of like these 36 movies? Like if you had to like, I picture it like if you had to just keep one and like let the others go, in a way, like metaphorically, I feel like I wouldn't take Eternals. I would take Civil War or even Black Panther or Infinity War as like overall, like if you factor in everything. Like I know all those kind of have, other like movies that helped it get to that hype level or made it so satisfying. But I just feel like it was way harder for did the Russo brothers direct Civil War?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they just had a tougher job that they executed. Like Eternals was like, hey, here's an original story, and like I forget.
Wow.
I feel like she
Chloe
did an amazing job. Yeah, she did an amazing job, and like she wrote a good script. She made it visually awesome. She directed the actors. But I just feel like what the Russo brothers had to do, like I'm going to give you Iron Man, Spider, like all these characters, and you have to make them fight each other, like Hawkeye and Black Widow and, and all that stuff going on with Iron Man. Like that's messed up. Like thinking about if your best friend knew who killed your parents, that whole storyline.
Do you feel like it's harder? Do you feel like it's harder to work with a group of professional athletes to build a good team, or a group of rookies to build a good basketball team?
Oh, like yeah. Well, the professionals. I mean, if you work like with your LeBron James and all those, that would be an easier win. Oh, so you're saying that it's an easier win because he had better actors?
He had established characters who were already beloved, and just showing them on
that's
screen
true.
will make you get a W, versus getting nobodies and making them likable for the first time when we don't know who the hell they are. I think the tougher job
dang,
was
no.
on Chloe.
Yeah. All right. Well, dang, you just kind of made me rethink that. Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to think of real quick without, so I don't take up too much of your time, like why it's a better movie. But
I
I
feel
don't
like
know if the word execution is the final word. Like it just, in the end, it was like, it left a big, it changed everything for the MCU. I feel like it was a big turning point. Whereas like Eternals, I don't know if it's like, because I know you always say like not enough people saw it, and maybe that's why like people don't give it the love it deserves. But, like I saw them all, and I think it just like Civil War just got a better grade. Like if I was a teacher grading papers, you know, I definitely Eternals maybe would get points for like the originality.
So let's go. Let's break it down to like a grade book or a test. Let's bring up a few categories. Acting. Who wins the acting category between Eternals and Civil War? Which had the better acting in those two movies?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, they can't tie because I'm thinking how pretty like neck and neck they are now that I'm actually having this conversation out loud.
I would say like I would do to help Civil War. I think the best acting came between and it only took place really in the final act about did you know about my mom? Did you know?
Yeah, that was
he
deep,
killed my
bro.
mom. That was deep. It was powerful.
The tie-in.
Yeah, that trio between
Yeah.
Winter Soldier and Cap and Iron Man in that third act was the best acting of the movie.
That was deep. That was very serious.
Everything before that act, the acting was mid, run of the mill MCU.
Action.
Relatable to any other MCU type of acting. It was superhero stuff.
Yeah.
I would argue that Eternals throughout beginning to end showed superior levels of acting. It took itself seriously from the first frame until the last frame.
Well, now I'm thinking like actually Eternals might have had some heavy hitters with like Salma Hayek, Angelina Jolie, and dude from Game of Thrones. That's Icarus.
Yeah,
But,
Rob Stark.
This is
Richard
a tough
Madden.
one now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay, so I'm willing to put the check box on acting to Eternals. It's easier for me.
Okay,
Would you agree?
Yeah, I guess it's.
Yeah,
Eternals. I guess the acting is more difficult to be believable. Like I'm even thinking about all the other Eternals, and they had a maybe more difficult job to do. And they didn't get as much practice. Now that I'm thinking about it, like Iron Man had so many movies, and Captain America, and they all already been who they are.
Correct.
The only newcomers are.
Eternals,
Okay. So
correct. Yeah. It's Eternals.
Maybe I'll give you that one. Can I maybe get some other ones?
Yes, let's go to some more. No, we have more categories. Let's start with score. The score between those two movies. For me, Eternal score is smoking the hell out of Civil War score.
Dang. Yeah. Yeah, well, I thought Civil War was already like pre-established as well. Like basically the Avengers themes and Iron Man's themes just pop up.
Yeah, that Avengers is a theme, not a score. So like dun dun
like best out of 5?
dun dun. That shit's epic. You can't F with that. But that's a theme. The score is like the music in the movie throughout the film. And Eternals has a very original, very awesome score compared to Civil War.
It does.
So we're gonna check.
I could give you those two. I'm wondering if they might win the other categories.
Let's see where we go with these other categories. So check the box for acting. Check the box for score. Other boxes of the big boxes is direction. Which one had the better directing out of the two movies?
See,
you have the Russo brothers.
I'm kind of torn on.
Let's break them down. Russo brothers had all of this. They had the airport fight scene, which was great to look at. They had the final fight in the third act, and then they had the little moments here and there in between. I think that the Russo brothers did a good job directing when it comes mostly to the action. I think they're the best.
Was good too with Black Panther and Zemo when he was about to kill his ass.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was really good.
That's not the directing. That's the script. That's the script. You're impressed by that script.
This one I think I would like easily argue that Civil War, because when I think about how Eternals was shot, like it definitely reminded me of like when you see photography of somebody getting like an awesome picture of like Mount Everest or like a beautiful
cinematic.
beach. Like
we call that cinematic.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely cinematic. But like, is Eternals? A lot of it was like I feel like I don't want to say it was easy for her to direct, but she had such beautiful like landscape, didn't she? Wasn't a lot of it like on location, like real places, like I don't know the countries, but
most of that movie was real on location shots using natural lighting.
So that's what I'm kind of saying. The reason I want to give it to Civil War in this category is because kind of like how you were saying, it made me think of how you were saying like the actors that the Russo brothers had, like it was easier for them to get their actors to make a good movie because they already been doing it, whereas like this with the directing, like Eternals, it was easy to make it look good because it was in beautiful places, like really nice landscape, and like isn't that more like cinematography, like
that too,
you know, the shots were it was easier set, whereas like Russo brothers, them having to do all those action scenes in the airport scene and like a lot more is going through my head where I think I don't want to say I could have filmed Eternals because obviously I'm nowhere near that level like that, but like I feel like Eternals for some reason might have been a little bit easier to direct because it was already nice scenery, whereas like directing all these actors, even though they're professionals and they're maybe the better experienced actors, like it'd be harder to somehow get Scarlet Witch fighting what's his name? War Machine flying up in there, Ant-Man going big, going small. Like I think that's a little harder.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I wanna help correct you there. The reason why the locations were real and natural and beautiful is because that's the director's choice. Everything you're saying about all looking good and beautiful, the real locations, that's a director thing. The Russos is a green screen room thing, mostly. On location in some places, but that's why you get certain type of caliber of directors to direct, because they like a movie to look the way they make it look. Everything that you see on screen, most of it is because of the director.
That quality.
And I've seen what I've seen from the Russos. I agree, it's great, and a lot we talk about is the action. You yourself talked about action, why the Russos are better directors. But I would argue to the contrary, like the scenes that she put together with the natural lighting and then combining CG elements into a real scene and make it look flawless, like it's really there, is very impressive to me. Because not only
the girl that ran like the Flash too, that was really good.
Her coming out and making Makari run like that better than anyone else in the MCU,
that's
including with the speedster from Avengers 2, being able to do that and make it look that pretty. And I would argue, there's only really 3 movies that could compete with Eternals visually. I think that visually, Eternals is the best looking movie in the MCU, and it's not close outside of Guardians 2 and like Spider-Man Far From Home.
It's tough because I feel like you want to give it to them for being like real locations, but like I really respect like good CGI, and I think like
Eternals has better CGI than Civil War. Eternals has better CGI than Civil War. Way better.
Well, I mean, I can only think of like the what is it? Harishim? What the like? Celestial.
Harishim, Tiamat, the Icarus flying, Celestials, Deviants, all the fights, Makari, the fake volcanoes that popped up, like Sprite making all those volcanoes, the stuff colliding.
I'm not sure if you convinced me fully that this is. I don't know if this is fair to say, but like I want to say, I'm thinking of it like this in my brain. What the Eternals director did was amazing, and I'm not here trying to say that like she didn't do something amazing. But what I'm kind of saying is that like she couldn't do what the Russo brothers did, but the Russo brothers could do what she did. And also,
what makes you say that?
To, like, be disrespectful, but
wait, why are you saying
that's why the Russo brothers are coming back? They're coming back because they're the goats. Like, and no offense to the director of Eternals, but she ain't coming back. She don't get a sequel. She don't get a spin-off. She don't get an Icarus movie.
That's a lot.
And I'm not trying. I know.
You're saying a lot.
Like, I think the Russos are the goats.
You're saying a lot. Okay, so there's reasons for all of these things. So you said that you don't think that she could do what the Russos did, but the Russos could do what she did. Well, let me tell. I would argue that she did do what the Russos did, but better with the fights with Makari and the Icarus fight. It looked better. The action was done just as well. So she's shown that she can do that type of stuff. But there's nothing that the Russos have done in any of their movies that looks in any way close to what Chloe Zhao did. That's number one. Number two, I would argue about you saying she doesn't have another movie, it's not coming back. She was upset with the reception of Eternals. She said, and based off the people hating the movie, talking trash about the movie, she came and brought value. The first film of the MCU was what Chloe Zhao brought. The Russo brothers with Civil War, that's not a film. That is a popcorn movie. The Eternals is an actual superhero film. And to hear the MCU fans talk shit about her movie and say it's trash and say this, she said, I'm done with you motherfuckers. Everything you think, I'm not coming back. And that's exactly what Martin Scorsese was talking about when he said the MCU is nothing but CGI amusement park garbage. And that reinforced that same stereotype that I believe to be true.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I can't really argue with that because I do agree with like a lot of it. Like I said, I'm not like saying that Eternals wasn't good. I'm just thinking it's just hard to judge. Like I know we went through a couple with like the direction. I'm kind of thinking now too, like plot wise. Like I think you could say
the story.
I don't know, I feel like
let's talk about the story. Let's move on to story.
Okay, yeah, that part.
Story of the two movies. Which one are you taking? Story of the beginning of humanity, story of the Bucky killing Iron Man's parents and then finding out the truth.
I feel like well, before I'm like I said, I'm here to argue that Civil War is better. I think I'm going to stick to that, even though you're making me question it a little bit. But I think Eternals, you're saying it was like about the beginning, and that makes it sound like, with all due respect, I think you're making it sound like it's deeper than it was. Like I think ultimately it was like one of your boys betrayed you, like Icarus. Like that's what I think. Like I think about Icarus pushing Salma Hayek down into those the deviants.
Yeah.
I think about him. I think about him lying to everyone, and then them having to kick his ass at the end. Yeah. And then I know you say he had a change of heart, and then he ends up just flying into the sun or whatever. But I feel like, again, I don't know how else to say it. Like, but it wasn't that deep. It wasn't. They showed
why wasn't it deep?
Of humanity.
I want to ask you because this is the biggest problem that we have with a lot of people that watch Eternals and felt nothing from it. Why is it not that deep that Icarus would go against his ultimate design after murdering his alleged mother for it, and then realizing that I'm going to give myself up to the Unimind, and based off what I've done, I can no longer exist. I'm going to go ahead and self-sacrifice and fly to this sun.
Yes. I will. Maybe I said it the wrong way. Like that is definitely like a deep situation. But I kind of want to use your own. What I heard, something that you said that kind of made me think of this just now. You said like Winter Soldier was basically like a robot. Like
yeah.
But isn't Icarus literally like an android robot? Like he ain't even a real person. Whereas like Iron Man is a real person. Captain America, he's from the 1920s, 30s, whatever. Like that's some real shit. Like these robots that got their minds wiped and got their powers just given to them. Like they didn't take a superhero serum. They didn't get left in a cave with scraps. Like I just feel like I don't know.
But you're missing the point of Icarus, though. Yes, you're right. He was a robot. Okay. He was the humanity element.
Why should I care as much? Like I do care, but like I'm just trying to be convinced more.
Okay, I'm gonna try to help convince. I'm not trying to convince you. I want you to see what I see. I want you to see the light here. Icarus going from robot to him becoming essentially a human in the end. He embraced his humanity for the first time in millions of years. That was impactful. Let me give you an example. Have you seen Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines?
Yeah. Only once, but I could probably remember most of it.
Yeah, that shit came out in like 2003. Fuck. It's a long time ago. But there was a moment where the Terminator robot, Arnold Schwarzenegger's robot, was about to kill John Connor. He was on the car and he was bashing the car. Bah, bah. He was about to kill him. And then John Connor, at the moment, he said, "What is your mission?" And he stopped to project John Connor and all of it. "You are about to fail your mission." And he short-circuited and said, "Freak it." That shit was potent to me. That was like epic in a big way. That was like the highlight of the movie. Like, this motherfucker had robot rules. Your shit was etched in from the future. Yeah. And you still overreached yourself and contradicted yourself because you knew and cared about John Connor. Yeah. Yeah. He shut himself down rather than kill and end that mission. Overwrite. Yeah. That's what Icarus did.
I guess you would say that.
I can see that now. Yeah. That's a good example.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
That's why it hits for me. Like I don't think a lot of people really see it from that
I
light.
paid attention to it like that.
I didn't think about it that way until you put it that way. Now I feel bad for like saying like I don't care about robots, because I do, because now I'm thinking about like Vision. Like I care about Vision, and even though he's just a robot,
Vision,
right?
who he was becoming more
I don't know.
of a human.
Tony Stark more out of anything. He said he shut down his location. Tony said I can't find him. Yeah.
No, that's facts. Yeah. Well, I feel like I kind of already lost. I don't know if you want to move on or if you want like.
Hey, bro, you had an excellent argument too, bro. I give you your flowers on that, bro. You had an excellent argument.
Hey, fantastic job. That's one of the best conversations. You tight, bro. First time caller, don't make it the last, bro.